Yo, it's the HeelCast coming back after our 1 week absence. It's your man, Hurls. I will be hosting tonight, and I'm joined by the one, the only, the returning Chef. Chef, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, brother. It feels good to be home, talk some impact, fuck with the marks. Let's get it in.
That's right. I just want to do some shout-outs before we get into the meat and potatoes, so to speak, of the show. I want to shout out to Andre Corbeil. He's one of our very good listeners. He promotes us all the time. Check him out. Check out Robert Does Wrestling. He's in Puerto Rico right now helping out with the flood. So check him out. Check out ImpactAsylum.net, where you can find all of our stuff, our content included. Also, Chef, why don't you talk about the Heel Team 6 stuff you're doing right now?
Oh, man, I got a lot of exciting stuff. If you want to check any of my designs or any of my artwork or clothing, all you got to do is go to designbyhumans.com, type in Heel Team 6. We all know how to spell Heel Team, S-I-X. You'll see my shit. We'll get it in. And also, you got to show a little love to BQ. I think his thing is called the Impact Lounge. I'm not sure if he does King of the Mountain no more, but he's always keeping it 100 with his fan base. So much love to BQ as well.
Definitely. And I just want to promote one last thing. We're doing a booking contest on ImpactAsylum.net. We did week 1. I'm included in the contest. It was very fun booking out the first week after Bound for Glory. I know there's some other users that went into the booking contest as well. So if you go over to ImpactAsylum.net, please check that out. Tell me what you think of my first week. Tell me what you think of FK9's first week. Raven Effect is also in it. So check us out. Give us some feedback on what you think you liked and what you didn't like from our booking. So anyway, Chef, let's start with the news. We'll start with a little negative news to get that out of the way. Pretty much confirmed that James Storm is no longer with Impact Wrestling. His last match, I don't know when it'll be, but basically the Canada tapings were the last tapings for James Storm in Impact. What's your thoughts?
You know, I'm extremely salty about this. I think that, and I've been on record to say, to me, James Storm is TNA's Impact Wrestling, CFW, whatever you want to call it. He's our version of Hulk Hogan. He's the face of the company. Always has, always will be. He's going to be missed. I'm not even going to lie. If it was a money thing where, he was obviously making a lot of bread and you can, spread the love and start bringing in a whole lot more talent, then, obviously you do that. Wrestling, I hate the fact that people say it's a revolving door, because big name people should never be in a revolving door stage, regardless of what. James Storm is going to go somewhere. He's going to sign. He's going to fucking do big things. That's what James Storm does. If James Storm listens to this, fam, I will see you at AWE, and I'm not just trying to promote people, but I'm going to see you there anyway. The Cowboy, Heel Team 6 all day, baby. So, James Storm, do your thing. Like I said, I'm salty because I'm going to miss him at the Impact Zone.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed when he signed 2 years ago. I was really hoping he would get another chance at the title shot and prove what he was worth. But, it's just time went by and they weren't pushing him. And it was kind of upsetting. I'm like, what doesn't Impact see here that we're all seeing? Like, it made no sense. And the whole DCC thing flopped. Unfortunately, it had a great concept behind it, but it just never went anywhere past maybe 3 months. And I thought, maybe after the whole DCC thing, Jeff Jarrett comes in there, I thought maybe they were going to give him a really big push. I was really hoping that he was going to be a heavyweight contender, but, it never happened. And now he's gone. So his 2 years are up, and that's really it. So, I'd love to see him in Impact one more time, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, excuse me, my dog is going crazy. But, I just hope that, maybe sometime down the line we'll see James Storm, but he is getting up there with age. I don't know how many more years he's going to keep wrestling. If I had to predict where he's going to go, You would think WWE, but I'm not so sure. Maybe he goes someplace like Ring of Honor. Who knows? I think he could wind up anywhere right now because I don't think it's real clear. But anyways, James Storm, we're going to miss you. You had a great run in TNA. It could have been better, we wish, but it didn't. But we will not forget what you did for the company. So anyways, let's go to the second bit of news. Impact Wrestling has signed Tony Cage out of Global Forged. Chef, you got any intel on Tony Cage?
You know what's crazy? Unfortunately, I do not. Like, literally, I kind of asked people, like, I felt like that dumbass guy who was a fan of something and should know this, but I had no fucking idea. And, I mean, I got some pretty good feedback. I heard he's a decent wrestler and stuff like that, and, only time will tell. So, he has a clean slate with me. So, I'm excited to see what he's going to do if he, cuts some fucking sick promos. Hopefully the guy fucking comes in and kills it. Sign off the bat and make this Global Forge thing, something that if this guy could come off and, I mean, to me, it kind of reminded me of British Boot Camp, even though I didn't see it, where you got a guy come in. If he could come in and kind of remind you of Rockstar Spud in his own way, where he has a nice little run for a while, this is something that they could look about doing yearly and bring in another talent, and it won't just be some one-and-done shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like what I'm thinking of it. I think from the looks of it, from what we saw from Global Forge, I mean, it looked pretty legit. It looked like there was a lot of really good wrestlers there, but at the same time, we don't really know what, him or Akeem Zane, the guy who won Global Forge, is going to bring to the table. So, I look forward to seeing what they can do, and I'm excited that Impact's bringing some new talent in, but at the same time, he's got a lot to prove because, we haven't seen him do anything yet. So, good on Impact to sign these guys, but, they got a long way to go. So, we'll see what happens. Next bit of news, we got one that I'm pretty excited about. Brian Cage seems to be drawing the eye of Impact Wrestling. I'm a pretty big fan of Brian Cage, but, Chef, what you got?
Honestly, once again, like I told you people, and I don't want to sound like the biggest fucking wrestling idiot in the world, and if you think that, that's fine. Shit, laugh, that's what we do. But I don't know a lot about Brian Cage, so I looked to you guys, and you guys are really high on him. So I actually kind of went on my phone, did a lot of research through YouTube and all that. Guy is really fucking impressive. He's athletic. To me, he's one of these big men that can really move around the ring. He doesn't feel kind of stiff. If they could bring this guy in, you could really see him go right at the top. Like, this isn't a guy that, I think should even look at the fucking corny-ass Grand Championship belt. He's a guy that you're like, oh, shit, we just got Brian Cage. And he should be a guy that's staring right at that fucking global champion. I think that's the name of it, whatever. The Impact Heavyweight Championship belt.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, the last time he was in Impact, he was in New York City at their Manhattan Center tapings. He tore it up. I can't remember exactly who he wrestled there. He also, his first time in Impact, he wrestled Jay Bradley, and it was when they were doing that gut check. And for some reason, they did not go with Brian Cage. They went with Jay Bradley. No offense to Jay Bradley, but Brian Cage was just the guy, man. I don't know what they were seeing at that time. Like, I don't know how you could pick Jay Bradley over Brian Cage. And don't get me wrong, Jay Bradley's been on this show, okay? So I'm definitely, you could tell I'm definitely keeping it real here. But Brian Cage, this guy can do so much. I mean, he's a big wrestler, but he can do X Division style stuff. He does a moonsault. He just does so many different moves. Guy's just an absolute powerhouse. I really hope they can get Brian Cage because, man, watch him go in there with Eli Drake or some of the X Division guys or, Johnny Impact or EC3. I think that'd be a great hire for Impact, and I'd love to see it. Even a guy like Eddie Edwards. So I'm hoping they bring him in, and I'm sure we'll find out at the next set of tapings if they do. Let's see. Anyways, for our next article, next bit of news, I want to talk about Lucha Underground. They announced they are going to be doing a season 4. Now, you're probably wondering why I'm bringing up Lucha Underground on an Impact HeelCast podcast. Well, the reason I'm bringing that up is because Lucha Underground has basically lifted their restrictions on Impact Wrestling, saying that Impact can now bring in Lucha Underground talents whenever they want. So I think this is a pretty big news since we don't really have to worry about, Impact not being able to use Johnny Impact or not being able to use Phantasma. The only thing I think that they have to do is Lucha Underground gets first crack at them for their tapings. But, Chef, what do you think of this news?
Yo, to be completely honest, I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I'm not a huge Lucha Underground fan. I know what their product is. I know the love and support they got because they got a fucking amazing fan base. They got a really dope fucking product. It's just not for me. But to keep it 100 with you, if Impact has somehow become a partner with them, I think this takes Impact to another step. You know what I mean? Like, going forward, if you got now Noah and Crash and AAA, AAA I think it's called, and Lucha Underground. I mean, Lucha and Impact, the fucking Impact roster has like fucking half the damn Lucha Underground roster there anyway. So it already feels like there's some kind of communication obviously happening because we have a lot of their guys. I think that if they could pull this off and you can now have Lucha Underground product on fucking the GWN network or whatever they call it, and I think Lucha's also on YouTube, not YouTube, what's this fucking shit?
Netflix.
They're on fucking Netflix. So you're looking at Impact coming to a whole nother venue. You know what I mean? Like, there should be better marketing and all this other shit. This could be a fucking really dope marriage if they could pull that off.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, if you look at, like, everybody who's on the Lucha Underground roster, it's amazing. I mean, they got, like, guys like Jackie Evans. They got Paul London. They got Angelico. They got so much talent. They got Shane Strickland, who wrestles there as Killshot. I mean, he's big. He's like best friends with Moose. So they got a lot of like connections with the roster. Obviously, I think it would be great if they both just said, "Hey, we'll use your talents no matter what, and you can use ours anytime you want." So I think that would be a great exchange, and I think it would help out both companies. I would love to see that partnership go through, and I think it'd be great. So, anyways, we had an Impact this week. It was our second tapings from Canada. But before we start with this week, since we did not have a show about last week, Chef, what did you think of the brawl between Alberto El Patron and Johnny Impact?
Dude, I'm loving this shit. Like, you see so many fans bitching about the whole El Patron and Johnny Impact and I don't get it because these guys have been fucking killing it. You know what I mean? Like, this aggressiveness is this is my type of shit. You know what I mean? Like, I really like seeing people just try to fucking, I'm not going to say murder anybody. It's wrestling, let's keep it 100. But these guys are telling a story, and it's fucking violent, and it looks like some real, I don't fucking like you. You're in the way of what I want. I mean, they're all going for the top prize anyway. And it is just the storytelling between the two of these guys, the body language, the aggressiveness, the way they're just mauling each other. This is some real no holds barred, I'm going to take you the fuck out type shit. And, I mean, I am eating this shit up. Like, just keep serving me this because I'm a fan of this. I'm loving it. This is the type of shit that Impact kind of fell away from, and I fell away from, and now I'm just really enjoying this shit. The whole Canada thing has been so much better than the last fucking taping of Impact, which sucks, and fucking the IZ. Yeah, I'm from the IZ. I'll say whatever I want. This Canada taping has been fire. If they could keep this shit going, I mean, the needle's got to go up. I mean, I don't know what the fuck the problem is, but this shit has been so dope that if you go into 2018 this hot, yo, the sky's the limit for real.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, they Bound for Glory, I didn't think it was the greatest pay-per-view ever, but, there was some really good stuff they did. But, these tapings so far, we were 2 episodes in, but just seeing a brawl like that was just amazing. Like, that is something you would have saw in the Attitude Era, which I think is probably one of the best eras in wrestling we've ever seen. And those 2 guys were just going all out, all over the Aberdeen Pavilion, and just going ham on each other, man. It was awesome. That's like what I personally love to see in wrestling, just intensity and, you know, the blood feuds, which we don't always get all the time. So that was really cool. I really enjoyed that segment. I just had to talk about that because we did not get to talk about it last week. And I know, personally, all the other HeelCast members love that segment as well. So I'm glad, you know, we're able to give it a little love on this episode. So anyways, Impact this week starts off with the X Division 6-man match. It was Trevor Lee, Caleb Conley, Taiji Ishimori versus Sanjay Dutt, Desmond Xavier, and Garza Jr., with Desmond Xavier getting the win with the corkscrew. Chef, what do you think of this opening match on Impact?
You know what? I'm excited with this. Like, these guys are all, I mean, this is a fucking talented 6 right here. These guys are just, and it's not just flippy shit, you know what I mean? It's not just everybody just got to do these spots all fucking day like this, what's this guy, fucking Osprey scrub guy I don't like, who just does, like, ballet shit all day. These are fucking wrestlers that are fucking out here. They're fucking doing strong style shit. They, you know, they just, this is just, to me, this is what the X Division should look like. And the X Division has been coming back for, I'd say, about a year. It's been really good. And now it just seems like it's just getting so much better. The talent is getting a lot better. I really like seeing Conley's progression. Like, he went from, we never fucking seen this guy, to kind of developing into his own thing. And I'm not going to talk about his other characters. Straight up, you know, Caleb Conley. I think that he's starting to show what he's got. Everyone knows Desmond's a fucking maniac, and everyone knows about everybody else, but Conley's the one that I think is becoming more impressive in this, because he's starting to finally show, like, I belong here. And everyone is starting to take notice, you know what I mean? So I love the match. I did. I really enjoyed it, but I'm going to say, Conley, much love. I see you going forward, baby.
Yeah, this match was just, it was a great opener for Impact Wrestling. Like, I always comment on Impact on my Facebook page, and I said, this reminds me of, you know, how WCW Nitro would start off their Nitros. They'd have a great cruiserweight match, and this is exactly how Impact started off, with a great X Division match. I mean, dude, all 6 of these talents are phenomenal. Like, I don't know how many other HeelCast members like Ishimori. I'm always rooting for this guy. I tell him, you know, hey, he doesn't have a lot of character, but the guy can flat out go. And I think ever since he's been in Impact, he's put on great matches. I mean, his stuff in the X Cup this year was awesome, man. So I hope Ishimori's winning some people over, because I think he's really talented. As far as Desmond Xavier, sky's the limit for him. I love that he got the pinfall here. I think it was the right way. And I got to ask, I mean, we haven't really seen Andrew Everett, so I'm assuming he didn't make these tapings. I don't know if you know much about that, Chef, but is it kind of weird that you haven't seen Andrew Everett?
Yeah, I mean, especially, like you said, I don't mind Ishimori. I think he's a fucking amazing talent, but the last time we seen Conley and Trevor Lee, you know, Andrew Everett was part of that movement, and all of a sudden he's not there. So I don't know. Like, it was kind of weird. You know, I was like, oh, okay, you know, Ishimori's out here and not Andrew Everett. But I mean, you know, I don't know. I don't know if, you know, maybe he got a nagging injury. I mean, you never know. These guys do so much stuff on the Indies that if you're not 100%, you know, being on TV and being on the Indies is completely different. The Indies is like Savage Lane. You can fucking wrestle with a hurt, you know, broken back, and as long as you can kind of move around, they don't give a shit because you have a name. So maybe, you know, I'm not going to say he's injured. I don't want people to jump into, oh, well, Chef said he's injured. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's got to be a reason why he isn't there. He's part of this group, and all of a sudden, you know, he's not there. We all know he's still on the roster. We all know, you know, Andrew Everett's the fucking truth. So hopefully it's something minor. You know, hopefully it's nothing crazy. Maybe he had a fucking flu. Who knows?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm not speculating. I just I was just wondering where he was at. They really didn't give an explanation, at least not that I heard. So, but nonetheless, this match was very solid. I mean, it was quick, but, you know, it got the crowd going. Next match we had was a Grand Championship title defense. Didn't really make a lot of sense, but it was EC3 versus Bahh. EC3 gets the pinfall. Chef, what do you think of this?
You know what? I like Bahh. Like, I think Bahh is a fucking hilarious guy. Honestly, I'm actually more of a Bahh fan than I would ever thought when I first seen him. And I got to shout out to Kyle. Kyle knows this guy. Kyle's seen the whole, you know, he used to go to the Jersey shows that he was a champ, the tag team championship and stuff like that. He was super excited. He was like, yo, Chef, watch, this guy's going to be legit. If they would make him kind of like Yokozuna, that bad guy, you know, like that sumo fucking I'll crush your ass. I mean, this guy looks like he could fucking serial crush you. You know what I mean? So I like him. I think he's got a great gimmick. He's over in the Impact Zone. He's over in Canada. And I want to, you know, got to show my man Jimmy a dig mad love because he's the guy who's at the tapings. And he was like, yo, the fucking Canadian crowd is loving Bahh. And it kind of was like, damn, like, you would think they would, you know, he would have said like LAX, even though he did. You know, like Eli Drake, the big names. But the first thing he said was, wow, Bahh's crazy over out here. And I think eventually, if someone's that over, yo, just throw the fucking Impact Grand Championship belt on them and then see how people react to them with a belt. You know, so I'm really digging Bahh. I thought the match was really good. I kind of like EC3's, how he kind of shitted on him when they were like, oh, you're going to have a match for Bahh. And he was like, who? And they were like, Bahh. He's like, who? You know what I mean? I thought that was mad funny. Like, he tried to, like, son him without, you know, like, I don't even know who this clown is.
Right. Dude, I honestly, in this match, I thought Bahh, like, gained a lot of credibility, like, as a wrestler on the Impact roster. Because, you know, every time we've seen him, he's always been with Mario Baccara. But this time, like, we finally got to see what he can do by himself. And the crowd was loving him, man. The Bahh. I mean, they were loving it. And then when he started going like, ooh, you know, and then he starts trying to do the stomps on EC3, I thought the crowd was, I mean, I think he's starting to kind of get over it. And I want to see more of Bahh. I thought he was hilarious. And, I mean, they should showcase him a lot more because he's got such a unique look to him. Like, there's nobody else on the roster that even comes close to, you know, looking like he does. So I thought the match was really, really good. I was into it. And, yeah, there were some comedy points in here, but I thought they went really well within the structure of the match. And, I mean, it's good to see finally the Grand Championship being defended because, you know, we haven't seen that defended in how long. So, you know, I like this match. I was into it. And I thought it made Bahh look pretty good. So. And
the thing with Bahh, like you said, the crowd at one point actually seemed like it was more of a Bahh crowd than EC3. And I'm not saying it definitely wasn't. I'm not there. But also, like, if you really look at Bahh, that guy moves around for a big boy.
Oh, definitely. Like, I don't think he moves around like a small Joe, but he moves really good for his size, man. And some of the stuff he can do, you wouldn't think he'd be able to do it. So, you know, Bahh, I'm definitely for Bahh.
Yeah, and I mean, like, there's some moves that you're like, man, if that guy does a fucking oops, he's killing somebody.
Yeah, no, for real.
He's going to fucking crush somebody. Like, and that's what I dig about him, because he's so fucking big and he's so, like he's athletic for being as fucking big as he is. You know what I mean? Like, he's faster than you think. He's like that really big fucking huge offensive lineman that for some reason he's like a fucking tight end, running back, wide receiver. Like, it's fucking weird.
Right. Like, he should be able to do the stuff he can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100% there. His belly-to-back suplex was on point. Just a lot of the stuff he was doing. Like, I like, you know, he's serious, but he can also do the funny stuff. I would love to see him get a much bigger push in the future because I think they need to capitalize on that. I think he's got money written on him, so I'd love to see more of that. The next match, I know you're gonna love, 6-man tag, OVE versus LAX. Chef, what'd you think of this 6-man tag? Also, I want to note that this was, I believe it was hardcore. Maybe it wasn't hardcore. But what's your thoughts on this match?
You know what? I enjoyed this match, and it's funny because I'm always going to say fuck OVE just because it pisses a lot of people off, and I really don't give a shit who gets upset. But I never liked OVE. I'm not into the whole, tweaker looking kind of thing. I think that's really fucking, I don't know. I just can't get behind that shit. But ever since Sami Callihan got there, that motherfucker cut a major fucking, he's dope. Like, that guy kills it on the mic. And, I haven't been on the show for a while, so I want to break it down so people can understand because I don't have enough fucking characters on Twitter, so I'm going to let you know how I feel. What OVE was lacking was someone who could fucking talk. These guys can obviously wrestle. They're talented young guys, but they were so fucking boring on the mic, and they looked like such fucking, like regular dudes that you flip a bird to, you know what I mean? So it's like, come on, man. Like, these guys, seriously? And then when Sami Callihan got there, this guy's like real fucking, I'll fucking break you and all this crazy shit. His voice has sounded all crazy. This has transpired into what is becoming massively crazy. We know what's coming ahead with the Barbed Wire Massacre 3 or 55, whatever it is. This match here, though, this match was the perfect, movement into that direction. These guys from Jump Street have went 0 to 60 in their matches and took it to the next level every single match. There's not one match where you could tell me you sat back and said, hey, OVE and LAX is, it was an ass match. It has escalated and it kept rising. This match was just another fucking stepping stone to leading up to what is going to be an amazing fucking match. And we all know what I'm talking about. I got to be on here. Actually, I don't got to be on here. Maybe I'll just do some little shit. But that fucking match is going to be insane. And this is just a fucking perfect segue to that.
Oh, I got to agree with you here. I think this is the feud we never knew we wanted. And what I mean by that is OVE was stale. They were overpushed. We didn't really understand it. They just bring these guys, they hype them up. They hype them up as the greatest tag team, and they just weren't delivering. Not saying they were bad wrestlers, but they needed something. Sami Callihan is that something. He brought the mic skills, the credibility. He makes this thing work. Thank God they brought him in because, man, I was not digging OVE, but Sami Callihan, man, he's got such a unique voice. You don't hear guys cutting promos like that anymore. It almost reminds me these early 90s style promo, which, a lot of guys don't have that anymore. So I'm really digging what Sami Callihan's doing with this whole feud. And as far as the match, let's also talk about, this is technically Homicide's, first real match back in Impact. I'm not talking about that handicap one against Alberto El Patron where, he basically just took a finisher and that was it. This was an actual match by Homicide. So it was really good to see Homicide back in the ring, doing what he does best. And LAX picking up the victory here, that's exactly what needed to happen in this feud. And it's only going to keep escalating, and I'm loving it. I can't wait to see what's coming next with these guys because he's going to do a good revenge. It's going to get personal. So, yeah.
This is going to be, if it finishes the way we think it's going to finish, this is going to be something that Impact, the fan base is going to talk about forever. You know what I mean? This is going to be one of those feuds that you're like, holy fuck, this is crazy.
Yeah, no kidding, man. I mean, this is like I said, this is a feud we never knew it was going to be this good. It has been just phenomenal, just spectacular, man. I can't wait. This is going to be a feud where people are going to be talking about okay, I want to see more of this. When we had the whole Team 3D versus the Wolves versus the Hardys, man, those matches were just sick. Really good. We kept wanting to see them. This is one of those type of feuds in the tag team division. So, Anyways, man, the next segment we had Dan Lambert came out to the ring to finalize Lashley's release from Impact Wrestling so he could focus fully on MMA. Then Moose interrupts and is about to attack Lambert when Lashley and American Top Team jump him from behind. Then James Storm comes to the aid of Moose and hits Lashley with the last call super kick. And then another member of American Top Team attempts to stand up to Storm but gets a beer bottle smashed over his head. Storm talks about the importance of professional wrestling and questions why Lambert continues to criticize it. American Top Team retreats up the ramp, and Storm and Moose stand tall. What do you think of this segment?
You know what? And this is the weird part. Like, I don't know if a lot of our listeners have ever been in a fight or been jumped or something, and I have both. If I got beat with someone and they always walk around with 6'7" dudes like American Top Team does, I am not going to keep coming out dolo. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand this, and this is maybe just my dumb shit, but, like, the writers really need to look at it. If you're still going to get jumped, at least have them come out with two people, you know, kind of fight it off just a little bit, and then have American Top Team whoop ass and have James Storm, you know, whatever. For Moose to keep coming out, yeah, like, it makes no sense for him to keep coming out by himself and getting his ass fucked up. Like, it's like, yo, Moose, come on, man, you're a football player. I play football too. I used to get into mad team fights, not me versus another team. Like, that shit is just stupid. I'm gonna lose. I don't want to lose. You know, like, let's keep it a buck. I don't get it. I thought it was all right. Like I said, I'm already at the point where I'm tired of watching Moose get jumped. Not because I'm like a Moose fucking mega fan. Nothing. I like Moose. I'm a fan, but it's more like, yo, dude, let's kind of make this look some kind of real. Especially these are real fighters. These are MMA motherfuckers. Like, these dudes could really fight for real, not like stage shit. Like, yo, let's bring a crew in here. My crew versus your crew. This is what I don't understand why they're not doing. Like, why hasn't there been a fucking Impact versus ATT? You know what I mean? Like, let's get that on and popping. I don't know if it's going to happen. Yo, that's a free one for you, fucking John Gabor, who you don't know what you're doing. I mean, I'm a Storm fucking guy. I love Storm. Smashing people in the face with fucking beer bottles. I'm all for it. You know, all live the king.
Yeah, no, I love this. I mean, I love what Storm could do. That guy, that was awesome. Storm looks real strong here. I mean, if this is Storm's last year, which I would imagine it's going to do, just with the time and everything, would I like to see him go a little bit better than American Top Team? Yes, but American Top Team, give them credit. They get heat.
I mean, they get a lot of boos, man, and a lot of people hate to see these guys. But, you know, and going back to your point about, like, Moose not bringing extra backup, this is what I was talking about when we did our Bound for Glory review. I was saying, like, why wouldn't you bring more people? You know Colby Covington's going to be out there. You know the other American Top Team guys are going to be out there. Why would you bring 6 wins too? You know, it's just stupid. Like, I thought Moose should have had more backup, but I also want to say that James Storm cut a hell of a promo. I mean, that's what we're going to be missing when he leaves. So, you know, it was a decent segment. I'm not like totally into it, but at the same time, it wasn't the worst. We got the James Storm promo and we got the beer bottle shot. That looked really cool. So I got to give this segment a little props to it. But backstage, KM, he approached the American Top Team in the backstage area and tells them he wants to be in the group. Lambert dismisses KM, but Lashley says if he wants in, he must prove himself first. I got to say, I'm glad they're doing something with KM besides just being Sienna's manager. I think they needed to do something with KM because dude's just sitting there. He's a good heel. He's got that Biff from Back to the Future gimmick going on. So, Chef, what's your thoughts on, you know, KM possibly joining up with Lashley?
Dude, I love Biff. If Biff gets more of a fucking role, I mean, I'm not even calling KM no more because I really dig him. I grew up on Back to the Future. Biff was somebody that made me fucking laugh, so I love calling him Biff. You know, my bad, KM, but I just love calling him Biff. I would like to see it because at that point, if, you know, he does go there, you might actually see that Impact Wrestling versus them. You know, at that point, it could be, you know, maybe King Mo, Biff, and Lashley versus, you know, their, you know, our three, where it would still be an ATT because, you know, it's not just a tag team at that point. So it could really pan out well. As much as I don't want to see KM get his ass fucked up, but it would kind of be funny if they have him like being their errand boy and, you know, taking out a few Impact guys, and then all of a sudden he's in the ring and they just beat the shit out of him. I think it'll be fucking hilarious. It'll be fucked up, but it'll be hilarious. Like you said, I like KM, so I really think that it's do something with him. You know, like let's not just have people on the roster and just fucking sit on the shelf and everyone's sitting back saying, well, what the fuck is happening with this guy, especially KM? He's such a fucking talent. People already don't like him, and that's what you're doing. You're doing your job. Give him a fucking. They don't even got to be a crazy push. Just let's see him work, man. Because fuck, I enjoy it. This guy entertains the fuck out of me.
Yeah, I agree, man. I'm glad they're doing something finally with Cam. Start to get him in some matches. At least align him with Lashley. That's gonna be really good. I like that. So, you know, hopefully he does something crazy to prove the American Top Team that he's worthy, and then him and Lashley just start tearing shit up. And you know, obviously, this feud's gonna go on for a while. So I'm glad they got him involved in something. So, anyways, Jeremy Borash introduces the new Knockouts champion, Gail Kim. Allie comes out to show respect for Gail's amazing career. Gail speaks on her time in professional wrestling and how her dream to become a pro wrestler came true. Gail announces she is going through with her retirement and thus will be relinquishing the Knockouts title. I was a little confused by this because, you know, I know a lot of people were upset that Gail didn't put anybody over on her way out, but, you know, Gail means so much to Impact Wrestling. Like, she was the Knockout for so long. And I get why she won. Would I have preferred her to lose to someone? Probably. But her going out with the championship now opens up a lot of opportunities for a lot of different knockouts. I'm not sure where they're going with it. But, Chef, what's your take on this whole knockouts title situation?
First, I'm going to completely agree with everything you said because I completely agree. I as well felt maybe she should have, but at the same time, she should have the most wins as a knockout, period. You know what I mean? And the next chick that comes along, I apologize, ladies, I didn't mean chick. The next knockout that comes along, if she comes up and she is in that Gail Kim range, then I can see someone overthrowing, you know, that title. I think she won 7 or something like that. For her not to take the pin, I'm fine. You know, should she have, you know, maybe lost a match or two, but she really didn't wrestle as much, you know what I mean? So, right. You know, I got no problem with her fucking going out on her white horse and riding off to the sunset. I got no problem with that. It's in Canada. She is what the Knockouts, you know, is. And, I mean, like you said, though, you know, you got Rosemary, you got Taya, you got Sienna, Allie, even though as much as I like Cherry Bomb, and I'm not an Allie fan because I'm sick and tired of her just bouncing around the ring, acting like she does not know how to wrestle. I'm already way past that. If you just let her go and be the Allie or Cherry Bomb, whatever you want to call her, she's going to fucking blow people's minds away because she's super talented. LVN, as much as I swear I love LVN to death, I am completely over this Hot Mess Express or whatever she wants to call it. She's another talented person, so they got a really stacked roster. And the next girl is going to be dominant for a little bit. I don't think they're going to give it to Rosemary because she had a fucking hell of a run already. So I can see her maybe just sticking back with Taya and Taya not winning it. I don't know. But if it's my call, I give it either back to Sienna or Taya because, let's face it, Taya's fucking super hot and I'm fucking extremely biased. But I'm a Sienna fan, so that's what it is. But like I said, I'm admitting I'm biased, so give it to Taya.
I got you. I think that, you know, when I'm looking back at Gail Kim, I think she's just really banged up. I really do. Like, her wrestling kind of, you know, was going – she wasn't really wrestling a lot of matches and just kind of going lower and lower. And I think her injuries just really kind of caught up to her to the point where she said, well, I can't really do this the way I want to do this. So, you know, I respect Gail for kind of going out and taking a backstage role. And you know, I hope we keep seeing her on Impact. So, you know, I think she's a hell of a worker. She's one of the greatest knockouts ever. As far as the you know, what's going to happen, I agree with you on LVN. I'm not really digging her new, you know, her gimmick. I think I'm kind of over it. I want something to happen now, you know, it's so long. Kind of like with Cam, like, okay, what's she going to do next? You know, let's get this thing rolling. So that's kind of how I feel with LVN. Sienna is Sienna. You know, she's always going to be there. Like, they can always say that. Allie, you know, she plays the underdog really well. I'm not sure she's going to win the title. Claudia's definitely a great, you know, someone that you could put the strap on. But you also got, you know, like some newcomers like Ava Story. I hope they do something with her. I hope Dia Blanca gets in the mix pretty soon here. So whenever she comes back, I think she'll be, you know, eventually a player in the division. So there's a lot of talent there. It's just, you know, how they're going to use it. What's going to be their next big storyline. So I am looking forward to that. But, you know, for now, this is what we got. So, anyways, Joseph Park approaches the table full of wrestlers and catering, but when he sits down, everybody leaves except for Grado. Park apologizes for what he's done to him in recent weeks and admits he is indeed the monster abyss. Park wants to make it up to Grado and hands him a very important document, his visa. Grado can now stay and compete in the U.S. A Royal Canadian mountie confronts Grado and says his visa may be valid in the U.S., but not here in Canada. He tells Grado he's being deported and escorts him away, and Joseph Park tells him basically, I can't help you in Canada. What? Are you confused as I am on this?
You know what? Joseph Park's got to be the worst fucking lawyer ever. Like, I mean, holy shit, this guy does nothing right. He stole his money. He had the brizzles in the whip. You know what I mean? Like, Joseph Park is the fucking worst person to represent you. I don't remember if Joseph Park was ever good at representing anybody. You know what I mean? Like, this guy's just fucking horrible. Fuck, man. This Grado can't catch a break, man. I mean, he's getting deported from the United States. He's getting deported from Canada. Fucking guy just wants to wrestle. And somehow fucking he keeps getting deported. You know, like, fuck, man, poor Grado. You know what? Somebody start a fucking GoFundMe. You know, hire a fucking real lawyer to get your paperwork fixed because fucking Joseph Park sucks.
I hear you, man. Like, I'm just, like, really confused at this feud because, you know, I get Joseph Park's, like, really messed up in the head. You know, he's got split personality. He's half Abyss, half Joseph Park. But, man, did he screw Grado over. And now when he says that, oh, you got your visa, he's trying to be all nice with him. He can't even stay in Canada. So it's like, man, Grado can't catch a break here. And he shouldn't be trusting Joseph Park / Abyss at all. So I'm not really sure what the heck they're going to be doing with the next few weeks, but it looks like this stuff's not even close to being over with. Man, but I got to ask you, when you saw the Mountie, were you thinking old school WWF like the Mountie Jacques Rougeau? Were you thinking he was going to show up, dude? I would.
Dude, if he would have fucking came up and tased him with that little shock stick that he used to catch people with, that would have been crazy. If he would have fucking tased Grado, I would have lost my shit. That would have been awesome.
Oh, man. I'm still hoping that, like, he makes an appearance somewhere because, like, that's the first thing I thought when I saw a Mountie in there. I was like, oh, the Mountie. But then it's like, okay, this is a younger guy. So it's clearly not the Mountie. But dude, that was great. I loved it. I loved it. I hope he somehow makes an appearance. But anyways, we had the main event. We had Eli Drake defending his world title. I'm going to call it the world title, not the global title. That just doesn't sound right to me, but I'm going to call it the world title. Eli Drake defending his world title against Petey Williams. Man, oh man. But Chef, I'm going to let you go ahead, and I want you to talk about this match.
You know what? It's funny because we literally started talking before we started recording, and I had told you this match gave me goosebumps because this was like classic fucking Petey Williams. So it was one of those things that we talked about for a minute. And any real Impact fan that watched this shit, yes, Eli Drake is the champ. Yes, he's entertaining. Yes, the guy fucking kills it on the mic. We know that. But what you guys got a treat with this fucking match. These were two fucking seriously talented guys who laid it all out there and had an amazing match. This is your main event. This is why they put the belt on Eli Drake. This is why they had Petey Williams come up the way he did. It all was perfect. The match was fucking amazing. They went balls to the wall. I am such a fucking serious fan of this match because I'm excited. I've been away from the podcast game for a minute, and I got to talk about how great this match was. You know, and if anybody sits back and says, well, Shep, I didn't think so, well, shut the fuck up because you don't know wrestling. This was the shit right here. This was big money wrestling. This was what you got, and you got it for free. You know what I mean? This was one of those fucking matches. I'm excited. I hope to see Peter Williams more towards this. If he goes backwards, that's fine because he had a fucking amazing match. He showed that he could be fucking heavyweight material because if you could put on a match like this, my man, you got what it takes. We know that. But this, at this point of his career where he was out for a while to come back and be as good as he is, man, this man is doing fucking big things. Petey Williams, you killed it. Eli Drake, congratulations because you are the motherfucking man.
Dude, this main event was awesome stuff. Petey Williams can definitely wrestle in the heavyweight division. Eli Drake, what else is there to say? This guy has stepped up his game for the last 2 years. I mean, this guy is showing, you know, he's not one of the hottest guys in the business, okay? His wrestling, though, his wrestling is starting to catch up to his mic skills. And I said that the last show. This match was just awesome, man. I couldn't believe Eli Drake was the first person to kick out of the Canadian Destroyer. I mean, that was crazy, but, you know, that just shows you what people will do to hang on to the gold. And, you know, Petey tried everything to win the match, and you could feel the emotion, and just a great back-and-forth match. I really hope Petey gets another shot down the line because this match was just awesome. But I'm loving Eli Drake as champion right now. I think he's just hitting it out of the park. And like I said, when he won the match at Bound for Glory, that was the best. Blah blah blah. I can't talk today. It was the best decision that Impact made, keeping the strap on Eli Drake because I just want him to keep riding this momentum into 2018 because that match was awesome and it was a great way to close out Impact. Like I said on my Facebook page, I gave it an 8 out of 10 because I thought the whole night kept my attention. I thought a lot of the matches were just really good stuff in a 2-hour program. They showed everything you want in Impact. There's drama, there's storylines you got going, good feuds. I thought Impact was really solid this week as well as last week. I think so far the Canada tapings have been just awesome. So, Chef, what was your final review of Impact?
I'm definitely going to say I'm really enjoying both of these. I like both of these tapings actually better than I like Bound for Glory. And like I said, if you can go into 2018, even if they stay level, if this is as good as it gets, it's still a fucking serious show. So you're not losing anything. But if they could just take it up one more notch, you're talking about coming into 2018 fucking hot as a pistol right now. You know what I mean? So I just want them to, and I'm sure that Barbed Wire Massacre match is going to be the thing that takes it over because that's going to be a main event. It's going to be OVE, LAX for the belt. I get that. Like I was saying, I hope that Eli Drake goes into 2018 as champ. I even said on social media, as long as he doesn't lose that Bound for Glory, I'm good. Because I thought it meant way more to him and the company to have one of their guys keep it and not lose it to someone who just got there. Eli Drake is fucking killing it. We know it. We love it. He's fucking hilarious. Just ride this wave. You know what I mean? Just keep doing what you're doing because the shit is smooth. There's a few little things you could tweak, but at that point, you're just nitpicking. It's been seriously dope shit. I enjoy being back on the HeelCast. I'm home, and I'm out of here with that.
Wow. Well said, Chef. Well said, man. We're glad to have you back. We've definitely been missing our weekly dose of Chef, that's for sure. But I agree with everything you said. Eli Drake hitting it out of the park, doing everything he can to help the Impact brand. And, folks, if you don't got the Global Wrestling Network, you're missing out. They're uploading new content all over. And it's not just Impact stuff. They're putting Smash Wrestling on there. They're putting Border City Championship Wrestling on there. They're putting Rocky Pro Wrestling on there. They're even putting classic stuff from the 70s, Wrestling at the Chase. I mean, they are constantly adding new material to the Global Wrestling Network. It's only $7.99. If you pay for the WWE Network, you might as well just pay for the Global Wrestling Network as well. Why not? Why not? There's a lot of great wrestling on there, so much content to watch. And you can even watch the great feud between Rosemary and Cherry Bomb, our very own Allie. You could see what that was all about. So, folks, get the Global Wrestling Network. It's not that much to ask. And really, that's all I got. Impact 8 out of 10. Hopefully, we will see you guys next week. I don't know if I'll be on. I don't know if Chef will be on. But we will be back next week. See you guys later.